Inside the Northern Edition, good evening all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topic news: the government implementing its 2015 Summer Youth Employment Program to address growing concern for youth development and youth unemployment. Students involved took part in orientation this afternoon at St. George's High School Gymnasium. Our Kimberly Mullings has the details.
The first phase of the Summer Youth Employment Program set to begin Monday on Grand Bahama Island, and Minister for the island, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, reminded those attending the orientation to be grateful of the opportunity before them.
I want you to consider yourself privileged to be a part of this program, and do not squander the opportunity that is in front of you. We are not running a babysitting program, young adults. This is a program where we expect you to show up to work on time, give the employer a day's work for a day's pay, and to be able to learn some skills that will make you a better person.
After issuing that charge, he asked the summer employees to make the best of their job experience, which should result in good reports from employers.
What we would like to see this year is from the individuals who you would be working along with. When we do the assessment of your performance on the job place, we would like for it to come in as being good and not mediocre.
Dr. Darville said the government recently set aside a substantial amount of funds in the budget to support the youth program, adding that they should be mindful of the employees who would come behind them.
In order for a program to work effectively, our private sector partners must buy into the program. The employers that you're going to go to. Let us perform so that they can partner even greater in the months and years to come, and to allow other young people who will benefit from this program in years to come to build from where you left off.
Also offering advice was Senior Undersecretary 1 at the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Harcourt Brown, reminding the summer employees that a good attitude and manners can take one far.
It doesn't hurt you at all to say good afternoon, sir. You don't have to know the person. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Let me tell you something. The minute you remember your manners, that's going to single you out from the rest.
The first phase of the summer employment program begins Monday, June 29th until July 24th, and phase 2 begins July 27th until Friday, August 21st. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
In other news, Grand Bahama's top cop says progress is being made in the fight against illegal weapons. Tonight, the police chief is commending officers for the progress made so far. Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police Emerick Seymour says officers on the island are continuing to take dangerous weapons off the streets of Grand Bahama. He notes that within the past 36 hours, police were able to take a significant number of guns and ammunition out of the wrong hands.
We are concerned, as we always are, because as you know, these firearms, handguns, are illegal, and of course they're in fact finding their hands. They're finding themselves or fighting in the hands of criminals. And of course, if an illegal firearm in the hand of a criminal is a dangerous thing.
He says his officers are working around the clock to locate as many of these dangerous weapons as possible.
Several persons would have been arrested and of course are being arraigned or have been arraigned in connection with those fines. We want to advise members of the public that the possession of a handgun is illegal. The possession of a handgun is illegal. However, if you're found with a handgun or ammunition, then of course, as we did in the past, we will continue to do. The full brunt of the law will be made to. We will bring the full brunt of the law against you.
He is adamant that there should be no tolerance for lawlessness, and says those seeking to wreak havoc will be pursued.
You would have seen in recent times the acts of criminality that are being perpetrated throughout the Bahamas. Particularly those serious acts of criminality, they're being perpetrated with the use of a handgun or the use of an illegal firearm. And so a firearm in the hand of a criminal is no good. It's no good news for us. It's no good news for the Bahamas, because anyone can fall victim to it. And so we send a strong warning out to those persons who are hell-bent on, as I indicated in my remarks, If you are hell-bent on breaking the law, then of course, we are relentless in our efforts to find you out and bring you to justice.
Some support coming in for the Bahamas Air Sea Rescue Association, as one Grand Bahama resident with experience in the business of disaster preparedness is answering the call and is volunteering her services. She is calling on others to do likewise. Kimberly Mullings has the details.
Tammy Mitchell made the decision to join BASRA after seeing the state of the organization on ZNS. She's the co-chair of the GB Disaster Consultative Committee and also the supplies officer for NEMA Grand Bahama. Mitchell says BASRA is a very important disaster committee member.
They are sometimes the first ones who arrive on the scene when there is some kind of rescue mission that needs to happen. It's so very important that the island of Grand Bahama and its residents assist BASRA in whatever way it can. We cannot do it alone. We do not need to lose another arm that is so vital to the island. And for them to be in the state that they're in now and nobody is coming in to assist, it's a concern.
Due to the lack of community participation across the board for BASRA and other like local organizations on Grand Bahama Island, Mitchell says she had to step up to the plate as a resident and Bahamian citizen.
If you don't show up for meetings, how are you going to know what's going on within the organization? It's not just going out to all of the fun stuff on the beach and all of the parties. For you to be informed about what BASRA is doing or what even the disaster committee is doing, you have to be a part of the organization. And being a part means coming to the meetings, to the annual general meetings, whatever the meetings are, so that you can stay informed.
Having worked with the Disaster Consultative Committee, Mitchell knows firsthand the vital role BASRA plays on the island.
BASRA normally is one of our first arms that we would reach out to. And why? Is because we have a familiarity with them and the works that they do. I can call Justin or Devon or any of them at any hour, and they're ready to assist. They don't question why, they just ask, where do we need to go? Sometimes Justin would get information and he would pass it on to us. Hey, did you guys hear about this? We stay in contact with each other, and that's what we need for Grand Bahama residents to realize. Nobody can do anything alone on this island or even in the Bahamas.
Mitchell urges other Grand Bahamians to be a part of BASRA, for the organization is one that needs to stay.
Not just paying your dues. Yes, we love your dues, but you also have to assist wherever you can, even if it means coming out and answering the phones, having a radio, having a cell phone, but just offering the assistance and being a part of it. We cannot afford for BASRA or any arm of disaster preparedness to just go by the wayside.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Upper Zion Baptist Church in Pinders Point is marking 50 years of service and ministry to the community. A number of activities are planned in observance to this milestone. Tonight, Sabrina Brown tells us about a special event scheduled for this weekend.
Beginning at 10 a.m. This service will bring together couples who were united in holy matrimony at Upper Zion since the establishment.
It's being dubbed a celebration of marriage, and come Sunday, the Upper Zion Baptist Church is expected to host more than 100 couples who were married at that church over the past 50 years. Committee member Archie Nairn.
We believe the message from Pastor Peter Pinder will serve as a source of encouragement and a reminder that the institution of marriage is in fact the bedrock of the family, which, as we know, is the main pillar of society. Additionally, we want to highlight the key ingredients of a successful marriage. Ingredients such as love, mutual respect, commitment, and adherence to biblical principles in relation to marriage.
Archie and Pauline Nairn were married at Upper Zion back in 1998. Pauline believes the upcoming celebration is significant.
Marriages were ordained by God, and the institution of marriage today is being attacked, and this is a time for us to come together to celebrate our spouses, to celebrate each other, to endorse and to enforce that marriage is still the institution that God has ordained.
Chairman of the committee, Rudy Meadows, says planning this event has been a unique experience.
We have had beautiful time trying to put this thing together. You know, the surprises that you run into in contacting the various couples that's been married so many years. I had someone that didn't even remember that he was married at this church. And yeah, it goes on, but all in all, I think everybody is enthusiastic about it, and I feel that we're going to have a great turnout.
Bertram Pinder says the celebration of marriage is a prelude to the church's golden anniversary in November.
Some of our other major events will include the renaming of our Sunday school building to the Reverend Wellington Pinder Center. We're also planning a memorial service in remembrance of all those persons, members, especially who have departed this life since we dedicated this edifice. And one of the major events would be the banquet, which will be held in late October.
The special service will be held on Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Upper Zion Baptist Church in Pinders Point. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
A local church extending its mission as a major outreach initiative is planned. Church officials say with many families struggling to survive, providing the basic necessities have been a challenge. It was a vision that came to life 3 years ago, and now, according to minister at the School of the Prophetic Ministry, Valerie Thurston, they're committed to help lessen the economic burden that many are experiencing at this time.
Who are in Christ, we know that there's a work we have to do, and we have to assist in any area that we can. And the body of Christ need to reach out to the less fortunate. And we have a lot of the less fortunate people out there. They're just hurting. They're hurting so bad. If you have and you can share with somebody else, share. We are trying to assist those that are in need. In the Hawksville community, the Wellington Heights Estate, Lewis Yard, the general area, every year we try to do this for the community. The word says that we should feed the hungry, clothe the naked, and visit the sick. So this is what we try to do.
Now, the special giveaway is set for this Saturday on the grounds of the School of the Prophetic Ministry beginning at 10 a.m. Minister Thurston says not only will the church provide an array of items for distribution, but they will also try to feed those turning up for assistance as well.
The ministry tries because we can only do what we can do. And whatever is donated, we share it with those who are less fortunate. So we always give. And that's one of our principles. So everybody is on board just to try and help who they can help. And those who have, they can come and continue to donate.
Residents from Hawksville and the surrounding areas are being called on to support this annual event. And now it's time for Ask the Doctor.
Hi, and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. JC from Freeport sent this question. I had tingling and numbness on the left side of my face last week. It only lasted for about 30 minutes, then it went away. A friend said I may have had a mini stroke. Is it true? But I'm fine now. Hi, JC, and thanks for your question. What you have described sounds very concerning. You may have had what we call a transient ischemic attack, or TIA, also referred to as a mini stroke, as your friend mentioned, and this should be taken very seriously. A TIA is caused when blood flow to a part of the brain is blocked or reduced for a short period of time. It can mimic stroke-like symptoms and is usually caused by a clot, which can be the result of hardening of the arteries called atherosclerosis, a heart attack, or abnormal heart rhythm like atrial fibrillation. The clot can block blood flow to the part of the brain, and those brain cells are affected within seconds, causing symptoms. After the clot dissolves, blood flow returns and the symptoms go away. Symptoms of a TIA may include sudden weakness, numbness, tingling, or loss of movement in your face, arm, or leg, typically on one side of the body, slurred speech, difficulty speaking or trouble understanding others, sudden vision changes such as double vision or blindness in one or both eyes, or dizziness, loss of balance, or coordination. Symptoms may appear and last anywhere from minutes to less than 24 hours before disappearing. While TIAs generally do not cause permanent brain damage, there are serious warning signs that a stroke may happen in the future and should not be ignored. If you or someone you know are experiencing symptoms of a TIA or a stroke, please call 919 or go to the nearest emergency room immediately. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
And of course, don't forget to join the West Grand Bahama District Pre-Independence Sunrise March and Flag Raising Ceremony this Saturday, June 27th at 7 a.m. from the Friendship Shopping Center to the Seagrave Park in 8 Mile Walk. Stay with us. Sabrina Brown has a check on sports when we come back.
Good evening and welcome to sports. I'm Sabrina Brown. The Kenny Anderson Legends of Basketball Grand Bahama Jam starts tomorrow at the YMCA gym. The NBA legend arrived on Grand Bahama today and Megan Shepherd was there.
Since retiring from professional basketball back in 2005, Kenny Anderson has been traveling and giving back to young people through camps and mentoring programs. He says this is his first time on Grand Bahama, and he is excited to work with the young people, not only through basketball, but also sharing his life experiences.
I come from some of the same backgrounds that most of those kids come from, and like I said, I'm always out to give some inspiration to the young, due to the fact sports, because everybody, you know, I got the platform. I played in the NBA, so kids be like, "Oh, you played in the NBA?" They want to talk to you, so I get their ear by playing in the NBA, and then just try to give off some of the life lessons that I learned.
Chicalo DeVoe says he met Anderson through his travels while playing basketball and coaching teams abroad. He says this camp has been in the works for some time now, and he is pleased that Anderson is finally here.
The camp will start tomorrow morning from 9 a.m. ending at 4 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday at 9 a.m. ending at 1 p.m. It's a 3-day event because from here he travels to New Jersey, and I'm very grateful and honored that he chose to come here and do this and spread his borders, spread his horizons, and reach and teach our youth.
Manager of Sports Tourism Nuvalari Chudasing says he is happy that the young people will be able to interact with and hear from Anderson about what it takes to make their dreams a reality.
Mr. Anderson has generously decided to actually conduct 2 basketball clinics, one in 8 Mile Rock at 6 o'clock at the 8 Mile Rock High School with Gary Rangoon McIntosh for the youngsters in that area, and then on Saturday at 6 o'clock at the West End All-Age School, James Goon Culmer facilitating that event.
Megan Shepherd, 7S Total Sports.
Thank you, Megan, and that's your check on sports.